or what interests me, and I'm just gonna check it out. You know, like nothing crazy. So let's take a look. Why most people are weirder than ever. Alright. That's true. This guy is called Coach SCG with 57,000 subscribers.
They lie for no reason. They ghost, flake, cancel plans. They act awkward one moment, aggressively fake. They humiliate. And it's hard to keep up. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly why people are weirder than ever before, and also how to protect yourself and stop letting it mess with your head. And if you're done with broken people, weird people, strange people in general, let's protect your boundaries, your peace, and your mental health. Book a free call with me.
They're literally everywhere.
90% of the people that work with me, have emailed me, and get in touch are all complaining about other people. Either people in their families, people who they live with, people who they're dating, their colleagues, and so on. And it's the same old thing. I was lied to for no reason, they said. They betrayed me, stabbed me in the back.
Has anyone ever been lied to? Or has anyone been lied to recently?
For no reason. They ghosted me when everything was going well. They've left me high and dry. They flaked at the last minute. I've paid for a vacation and they're not turning up or answering their phone.
Yeah, I actually didn't turn up to buy a car last week because I'm trying to get rid of the Honda Accord in my space, and it hasn't been sold yet because the person said that they'll pick it up. They never showed up. So I can't exactly... I don't want the car to be sitting on the driveway cooking in the sun at 100 degrees. It needs to be inside of a covered space, you know? And it's also an electric car too, which means it needs to be plugged in. So, you know, my house, I've got like 3 spaces. Technically 2, because I have a lot of crap in there, but 2 spaces. And one car is getting worked on, the other one needs to go. But, man.
They're really, really awkward. Like, they say one word, they don't make eye contact. Or they go to the other extreme where they gaslight me and pretend to be really into me, and they're fake and superficial. I can't keep up. People like you and me. Most other people don't do that.
Yeah.
With me, you know where I stand and where you stand.
Yeah, a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people just try and play the game of, oh, we'll just say what they want us to hear or whatever, you know? It's crazy, isn't it? If you think about it.
They keep you up at night. They doubt you.
I wouldn't go that far.
You doubt yourself. They give you anxiety. They make you stress. They frustrate you. They ultimately confuse you because what should be pretty normal, pretty straightforward, art of communication, yes, no, etc., direct answers, is not coming your way. You feel like you've done something wrong. You feel like you're the problem. You feel like you need to people please, beg and plead for a response and everything, and it's just that they're weirdos. They're idiots. They're selfish. They're not worth your time.
They're not worthy.
And the mental space.
They're not worthy, huh? You're not worthy. You're not worthy.
You give these people.
What movie is that from? Watch that movie. And they go, we're not worthy. We're not worthy. Yeah.
You discuss these things is not worth it. But what's happened here? How has this happened? Why has this happened? Well, there are several key reasons and elements why they're weirder. But also, most importantly, it's not just that. It's the fact that people in general don't have a clue how to conduct themselves anymore. So if you take one thing away from this video, is to unapologetically be yourself and have some decency and maturity. Now, social media has rewired people's brains.
That's true. Social media does mess with you quite a lot. you just think you're never good enough. Because there's so much stuff on social media. And this is a real one here. The majority of people that you think are actually ahead, they're using like 5 or 10 credit cards. They're not actually got true wealth, true money. It's not cash in the bank. You know? So don't be misled by a lot of people on social media. Oh my goodness.
You are not stupid.
Okay, I don't know what the fuck
You've
has
probably
happened.
noticed this. Me. And get in touch. Everything was going well. They've left me high and dry. They flaked at the last minute. I keep you up at night. What's happened?
Sorry about that, people.
Why has this happened? Well, there are several key...
Okay, if you're not gonna... Get out if you're not... God, my cats annoy the shit out of me. When I'm online trying to search and listen and be on my computer, I hate when they're fucking scuffling around my desk or just running around my room. It's like so annoying, you know? It's like, just chill the heck out. Let me do the stressful stuff.
reasons and elements why they're weirder. But also, ability.
Listen, pain.
Fuck's sake, man.
Famous catch.
I had someone show up last week in my live stream and said, "Oh, you swear so much." Who doesn't? A lot of people swear. I feel like the ones that swear the most, or the ones that swear in person in public, are usually the most honest. They're mostly, like, usually straight up. They don't really hide things and keep things secret, you know? They are who they are. So, take it with a grain of salt, man.
Phrase where a bully online, a cyberbully, will say or do just about anything for a phone, but they wouldn't even dare to do so face to face.
Yeah, most people are like comments, right? They talk a tough game in the comment section or the live stream comments, but then when you talk to them in real life, they don't act the same. They can't say the same stuff. It's like, why not? You can say the same stuff. Online, yeah, you won't get punched in the face. In real life, you probably would. So there is definitely a risk.
And here's the other thing as well. You're addicted to being antisocial now. There's that famous photo of people out now.
Sometimes I feel like I'm the odd one out. Like everyone is sociable and everyone has got everything together, and I'm the one that's fucked up, you know? And I'm just trying to like not be part of society, because society is really messed up, and it's just like everyone is just like backstabbing each other in a way, you know? If you go to school, work, wherever you go, everyone's just trying to one up each other by backstabbing each other, like
Interacting. They're back into that online validation.
that wasn't validating myself, but I was on my phone last week when I was at dinner, because I'm so used to being on my phone at that time of the day that it's just a habit, yeah? You just go to your phone, just scroll to check things, because I'm checking my marketplace for selling stuff, I'm checking my updates, I'm checking my content I put online, you know, to reply to messages. So I'm actually interacting with people. I'm uploading, I'm creating, but I'm also consuming a little bit. But tonight I'm going to consume probably a lot, because I haven't been consuming shit this week. I've just been putting out stuff for people. Time for me to take stuff in, you know, for once. So
To put the phone down, to put the social media away, to stop the scroll means you have to look someone in the eye. You have to manage your emotions. You have to step out of your comfort zone and be vulnerable. And like I said, it's very important to emphasize that this is not a teenager thing. This is not a Gen Z thing, whatever. This is all people. They've all been rewired. They're all addicted to the scroll.
yeah. I'm just sick of this cat. Just does my head in, man. Get out. Go. Don't be coming in here complaining. Doesn't make any sense. One of my cats will come in here, right? I'm like, okay, cool, she wants to hang out. But then she's just complaining the whole time. Meow, meow, meow. What the hell's the point of being here? Get out, you know? Go somewhere else in the house.
And as a result, born on and addicted to the likes of TikTok. You're not crazy. You're just from a different emotional era.
You know what? I use TikTok every day, just like Facebook and just like YouTube. I utilize all the platforms and I upload all my content to all the platforms. So I wouldn't say I'm addicted to TikTok because I barely scroll on there. You know, I'll scroll for a little bit and then I'll like something and then I'll leave. Because if I scroll, like what you guys do, no offense, I would never produce any content for anybody, whether it's shitty content or if it's just average, like other platforms to like upload or to comment or to upload to comment, yeah, on my stuff. Because if I just share everyone's stuff or if I just watch everyone else's stuff, I lose myself, I lose me. Because I'm always sharing everyone else and thinking about everyone else, yeah? So that's why I can't get into the consumerism too much. Because I get dragged into all of it. And I'm like, no, I've got to upload me, my content, me. So, you know, as much as people don't see me as a high demand person, obviously, we got no views tonight, I have to still be me. Because at the end of the day, people do appreciate people who are themselves. You know? They really do. They might not show it, they're 0 followers or 1 million followers. I just like them, you know? We're having a lot of problem with technology tonight, boys and girls. We're not dropping frames.
We barely take...
Yeah, I'm going to move to something else now. So we looked at that for a little bit. And I'm just going to scroll. Why most people stay broke from an old lady. Here we go. 5 views. Hi everyone. Well, she's got 13 subscribers. I feel really sorry for this old lady, man. She's got only 13 subscribers and 0 likes. Imagine your grandma was online making YouTube videos. You would support her, wouldn't you? I fucking would. 100%. My grandma didn't do shit for online stuff. You know what I mean? Like, she was not tech savvy at all. The complete opposite. So, like, this is really cool. You know what I mean? Like, I see families, I have family members who do cool stuff, and I wish that my family members did that. I'm like, dude, that's so cool. Yet these family members that are doing cool stuff never get support from their own family members or their own friend groups. It's insane. It's fucked up. Alright, let's go and listen to her.
Welcome to Freedom Friday. I'm Lynette Barnos, a proud independent contractor.
I detest them. I will never read off a script. I prefer just to speak my own mind. Yes, I might come out of gibberish sometimes, but I feel like it's me, so it's whatever.
Today, I share tools, truths, and tips to help you break free from the financial hamster wheel and start building a future that puts you back in control.
Yo, you can clearly tell when someone's reading off a script because their eyes are wandering to the screen and they're reading and they're looking back, looking back. If someone's speaking out of their mind, they usually would look straight at the camera and just speak. And it's coming out, you know, directly. There's no wandering around the room with eyes. That doesn't happen. So I can clearly tell she's going off some bullet points or a script or something. Something seems off, yeah? It's not genuinely her.
I help entrepreneurs, business owners and professionals create recurring income without selling anything so that they can live a debt-free, stress-free life and can start working on their bucket lists. Today's topic is one that hits home for so many South Africans. Why most people stay broke and how I escaped that trap. Whether you're working a 9 to 5, running a side...
This really feels like it's scripted. I don't think it's AI. I think it's a lonely lady who is employed by a company that's telling her, you need to do this and this and this. And I feel very sorry for her. I'm going to give her a subscribe because I'm not an arsehole. I'm actually a genuine person that likes to help people. But I really do feel sorry for her, man. You know what I mean? I feel like she's a puppet for a big corporation that's making her do this. They're forcing her to do this because it's part of her employment. It's part of her 9 to 5. It's sad to see, but you see this quite often. Especially with creators and influencers. I'm on YouTube for shits and fucking giggles, if you haven't realised this by now. I've made thousands of videos all over my platforms, and I don't do this for money. I just do this just because I enjoy going on YouTube and I enjoy creating crap. And I don't know why people even show up sometimes and watch my stuff, but they like it. So I just produce it even more if they like it. You can't mess up and you have to do things what the director tells you to do. I can understand scripts in that way, but when you're just doing a YouTube video, I don't think you should be reading off anything. I think you just be yourself. Just splurge whatever's in your head. Let it out. You know? If you mess up, you mess up. At least you're genuine. Who cares? Mr. Beast messes up all the time. They have to cut his stuff out. They have to edit it in his videos. It is what it is. It happens. It isn't the goal. This is how you actually escape the Matrix. A guide. The home ownership illusion. You don't own the house owns you. That's crazy.
So what's new at Mason?
19.9 thousand subscribers with 513 likes and 9 dislikes.
Trying to sleep with a golden retriever sitting on your chest. It's fluffy, it's warm, it's yours, but it weighs 70 pounds and it refuses to move.
Yeah, it's nice to have a dog, I think, because dogs are very loyal for the most part.
That's what modern success feels like. Comfortable, but crushing. You wanted stability. You got responsibility with a pretty bow on top. You wanted peace. You got paperwork. And a second job you don't get paid for.
All day, yeah, working, and I had to work nighttime at the hotel. And I was able to pay my bills and have a car payment and have a fancy car and have, you know, a rent paid for and everything was covered, right? And I still went to college as well, somewhere in between there. And it was a lot of work. And I remember getting burnt out and exhausted. And I don't know how people can do free jobs. Unless they're like jobs where you are like trading or you are selling eBay stuff or whatever, you know, like those types of jobs. But when it's actual like you've got to show up at a building kind of job, or you've got a delivery job, yeah, and you're doing free jobs kind of like that are similar, that will burn most people out for sure, 100%. Not many people can handle free jobs, man. Even if they're doing like Monday to like Friday and they have 2 days off, they're still going to get somewhat burnt out. But I know people are working free jobs and they work every single day that their job will let them, or one of their jobs will let them. So they don't have any days off. And I'm like, when do you have time to sleep? And they're like, in between my jobs, I take naps. Holy crap, man. That's nuts. That is so crazy. We got Alice in the chat with Dean Koontz was always putting golden retrievers in his books. I think golden retrievers are one of the best dogs you can have, man. They're so loyal and kind and just fluffy, you know. They're very furry dogs.
Called homeowner. Let's talk about it. You work your ass off. You come with a collar.
I don't have keys. I have buttons that I press with my security key on my door, from my front door. So, yeah, I don't do the old school thing.
The house owns your mornings now. Leaky faucets, paint samples, someone on YouTube convincing you to replace your water heater yourself.
Yeah, so I had my water heater replaced with an electric water heater. Like 20% less weight when he was carrying it in and out. You could tell the strain on the face, yeah? So, that's cool, I guess.
Saturdays used to mean sleeping in. Now they mean trips to Home Depot. Then, forgetting why you went to Home Depot.
No, because this guy is talking about a project house. If you buy a brand new house, you don't have to worry about all those updates and all repairs and any of that crap, yeah? So, on Saturday, I sleep in.
Your to-do list? It's a scroll. It never ends. It just changes fonts. You tell yourself, this is adulthood. This is maturity. This is what people do. But deep down, a small, quiet voice whispers, wasn't I supposed to feel free? We don't talk about this enough.
I do feel like the more crap you have, the less freedom you have. I 100% believe that. Because you're bound to a contract, yeah? So I think it's important that people buy things right out, if they can, and they have no contracts, no interest, no fees, nothing. And it's just so much easier. And say if you have to afford something that's more expensive, just save the money over time and then buy it with cash or with cryptocurrency, one lump sum, and just have it. And that way you don't have to worry about any of the little finicky things, yeah?
That the thing we spent years chasing might actually be chasing us. That the American dream sometimes feels more like a well-decorated cage.
Like, put it this way, would it be easier or make more financial sense to rent for, say, 5 to 10 years, save your money, buy the house cash, or would it make sense to get yourself into a mortgage loan that's at a low interest rate for, say, like 3%, and then just pay it off over 5-10 years by doing triple payments, quadruple payments, pay it off early? Which one makes financial sense? Which one would save money at the long term? At the end of the, after 5-10 years, which one would have a better result? Would you have more money in the account if you did the saving, or if you just got the loan with the low interest? Nowadays, there is no such thing as low interest. Everything is 7, 8, 9% interest rate. So everyone's getting screwed right now. But before COVID, you actually had a good deal. But not many people took the opportunity. Only some people did. A lot of people were renting at that time. And they were bound into contracts at that time. I wasn't. So when I got out of the military, the first thing I did was got a house. I bought a house. You know? And that, I didn't have to rent. And go through that strain and pain of renting. Making a landlord rich. Making a landlord have an asset. And now I have nothing. You know? I'm saving some money, yeah, sure, because it's renting. But then, do I have any assets after I've paid all these monthly payments? No, I've got nothing to show from it. You know? The landlord's got a physical building to show from it. I've got nothing. Crazy. Howdy from Alice. I'm gonna pin you, man. Since you're first. There's your pin. Enjoy.
Because here's the truth. We were sold a story where owning a home means you've arrived, where renting is failure, where mortgages are milestone.
Okay, so renting. I wouldn't necessarily say renting is a failure. I would say that renting is a choice that some people have to do, or some people might be forced to do, because they cannot afford, or they do not have enough credit to be approved to buy a house or buy an apartment. So they have to rent. You think everyone wants to lease cars or rent cars? No. People want to buy the cars or borrow someone's car for free so they don't have to pay anything. That's usually most people for you. But most people don't even enjoy working. Only some people enjoy working. If you speak to people, they're like, oh, I wish I just had money and I had a lot of time. Money and time, and that's it. And then I can just buy whatever I want and go wherever I want and do whatever I want. That's what most people want. But they don't say it. They just keep it to themselves in the back of their heads. And they're like, oh, just do what everyone else does. Just go to school, work a job. Just, just blend in, be a sheep. And it's sad, man. It's like some people have a lot of potential. They know a lot of things, but they just don't have the tools, or the financial freedom to be able to do what they really want. If you know what I'm saying. It's crazy.
But let's pull the curtain back. A 30-year mortgage is not ownership. It's a contract of obedience. A slow drip financial IV.
Yeah, so when you get a house, they try to force you into a 30-year contract because they make more money. Because they can be charging you fees for a longer amount of time. You get it? Versus a 15 or 10-year. So I would always recommend that you do the lowest term possible if you can afford to. Because you will save so much money. It's not even funny how much you save. You literally save 10, 20, maybe $30,000 in the long run. That's a car right there. You literally will buy yourself a car by choosing to do a 10 to 15-year contract instead of a 30-year for a house. You got yourself a free fucking car. Well, not free car, but you got yourself a car, man. With the money you've saved. Think about that. $20,000, $30,000 vehicle. A nice one. With a warranty. With a maintenance package. That you can take to a dealership. And feel like you're taken care of. You're not taking that used little piece of crap to the Jiffy Lube to get your oil changed. And the car's going to fall apart next week for something else. And you're just struggling, No. So, I think there's smart choices in life that people don't talk about. And the people that do talk about it, like me right now, never get heard because we're not big enough. So, it sucks. So, all the great information that you can give people never gets put out to a lot of people because the platform is so tiny. It's really sad, the world we live in. The people with the biggest platforms in society can help a lot of people, but they choose not to say certain things, either because they don't know, or they don't care, or that's it, or they're distracted by other stuff. And they're like, I'm just focused on what I'm doing, I don't care if I fuck about other people. Even though there's millions of people that they can literally say a couple words to help them in their life, and they could, but they choose to be quiet. That's fucking crazy, isn't it? All they had to say is do this and this, take 10 seconds, and they could have helped a ton of people because they have a big platform, a lot of people. And dude, the world's changing, the world's getting better, yeah? But people don't want to help people. Everyone in society is seeing each other as like competition. It's like, I don't want to help that girl, I don't want to help that guy, fuck them. It's like, wait a minute, you were in their position at one point as well, so you know how it is. So if you can say a couple of things to help people, if they've got ears to listen, they're going to fucking be ahead of everyone. You know what I mean? But most people don't listen. They hear things. They hear like decibels in the air, like sound waves. And it goes into their head and they don't understand what the fuck is going in their head. And they're like, I don't understand what this person's saying because I just need to experience life for myself. And all these people will go through failures all the time. And the easiest way to grow that I found on anything, doesn't matter what you're doing, if it's health, wealth, fucking whatever, yeah, financial gains, is fucking learn from other people's mistakes so you don't make the same mistake. You know? And most people will just learn from themselves, their own failures. That takes way too long. Fuck that. That's way too risky and it takes way too long. Learn from other people's experiences and failures and successes. And then just replicate what they do. Try to.
Roots matter. But when did we stop asking what we want and start blindly following what we were told to want?
Yeah, that's true, yeah. Society does tell us what to do in a way. You've got here security, self, responsibility.
When did home ownership become a moral badge instead of just one of many ways to live well? Here's the reframe. Owning a home isn't wrong, but owning a home doesn't have to own you. You don't need 2.5 bathrooms to feel worthy. You don't
need a mansion. You can just need something that's like sustainable, something that's like reasonable size, and the payment is very affordable. And if you're able to do triple, quadruple payments to pay the house off early, so you have more financial freedom, that's the best thing to do.
need a mortgage to be an adult. And you don't need a Pinterest-perfect kitchen to build a life that matters.
I literally have, might be cheap brand new stuff, but at least it's, you know, in good condition. And I can probably settle for the shit brown cabinets and, you know, the nice dark floors, which I don't mind. And then everything else got upgraded from there, you know, because the fridge was not there, and we didn't even have, I think we had a stove, yeah. We still have the stove. It's alright. It works. And then we put a dishwasher in, and we just added things to the kitchen, yeah. But I've just left the dog crap cabinets in there. I'm like, whatever. It is what it is.
Because the truth is, freedom isn't found in granite countertops. It's found in the space to breathe, to choose, to move without guilt, to wake up and say, today, I'm not fixing the fence, I'm fixing me. So what?
My fence is, it still hasn't been painted correctly, and we've had the fence for years now, and I keep putting it off, but it does.
In the suburbs, but a life that feels like yours again. Not someone else's blueprint, not society's checklist, just you, doing life on purpose. Maybe it's time to stop chasing ownership and start reclaiming freedom.
I think it's good to have both. I think it's good to own some things and have freedom, because that creates a balance, yeah? It's not easy to do, though. Alright, let's go back to the home screen and just scroll. And this guy's like, F it, look. You said I'm a bad person for swearing. This guy's got 77,000 views and he swears. So, I mean, works for him, doesn't it?
Dear Diary.
He's got barely any subscribers, but he's got a lot of views in this video. Because he's probably speaking a lot of sense.
Hi. My name is Zach. I've been wanting to get this together for some time. The intention of all of this is...
What the hell is that? Lucy, get out of there! Out! Go on, out, both of you. Out, go. Sorry about that. Cat was in the drawer. I just can't get things to work right.
for me. If this connects with anyone, anybody, that's also great. I do have another channel here on YouTube that I do my best to pour my heart and soul into, and I love the journey that it has provided me, and still continues to. This channel like I said, the intention is for me here as a form of putting.
Dude, I'm so confused what I'm watching right now. I don't know how some people just blow the heck up with videos, and then some people don't have support. I don't understand YouTube enough to realize, like, do we have people out there, like subscribers, that are just like this guy, and everyone watches this guy and they're just like him, or what? I thought YouTube was like a bunch of random people. Am I wrong? I don't know, but I thought that's what YouTube was. So it can't just be all people like this. There's no way. Okay, this what else we got to watch. This guy, I'm 45, if you're 40, no. They're having a job life. Everybody just talks about jobs, yeah? Job, J-O-B. Just over broke. Because most people that have jobs are paycheck to paycheck. Or worse, credit card to credit card.
Path that almost everybody will have to eventually face in their life, whether we like it or not. And most of the time, we don't. But everyone has to get their bread somehow. So.
Oh, dude, he's just reacting to someone else. He's making this into a video. What? This is more of a live stream, and you just take clips from it. What the hell? I can't even believe that. It wasn't even his own video. See, this. When you're reacting to people's content, it shouldn't technically be a video. It should be more of just a bullshit live stream like what I do. Because it's not really that serious. You're just literally just reacting to other people's stuff, yeah? Which is what everyone does. So that's why you would come across as more genuine. That's watching the stream right now. That's it. You know? I'm just showing... I'm doing the same thing you lot are. Scrolling YouTube, yeah? I don't do all the technical and very nerdy. I like to be in the computer side of things. I like to be online with people. I don't like to be physically around a lot of people, if you know what I'm saying. Only occasionally I will. For the most part, I like to be online. Because there's a lot of information you could grasp right away at your fingertips into your brain real quick. So it's like information addiction I have. I like a lot of information, you know? You want to... Anything you want to know about, music, is online. Movies, online. TV, online. Everything. It's incredible. I'm still blown away by how much information anybody... They don't appreciate the internet as much as they should. It's absolutely incredible. You know what I'm saying? Like, how cool is it that you can have all these apps and all this free content you can just absorb whenever the heck you want, whether you're at school, at work, on the shitter, doesn't matter. You could be anywhere, on a plane, at 10,000 feet up in the air, scrolling internet. How cool is that, man? And people don't appreciate it. They don't even give a fuck about it because it's been around for so long and it's so normalized that people are just like, yeah, whatever. No one ever takes a second to appreciate it and go, you know what? It is actually pretty damn cool. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's everywhere, it doesn't matter. It's still cool. And it's not just for nerds. It's for everybody. Anybody can watch the internet and go on the internet. Everybody. Any age. You see toddlers on the internet scrolling. With their little smartphones. They look like kids' toys, but it's really a phone with like a kiddie like case on it. But it's a smartphone still. And the parents are like, yeah, just raise them young. Teach them the tech stuff for young. They'll turn out to be a freaking billionaire tech person when they're older. That's what they do. The parents get you young, man. My dad, he had me building a computer when I was like 6 or 7. A PC, man. He took me to work and gave me a PC that was in pieces. And said, assemble that PC. I was 7 years old. I fucking know PCs like that, man. Like, it's not even funny. I assembled that PC and got it to work. And I didn't even know I could do it. I didn't even know what the heck I was doing. I didn't go to school when I was 7 years old to learn how to build PCs. My dad didn't even teach me how to build a PC at 7 years old. He put me in a room with a table while he was at work with business meetings, yeah, at IBM or some fancy tech company we were at. And I'm sitting there in a room with a PC completely taken apart. Anyone who's had that experience. I went to the store, it was around Christmas time, and my parents were in there with me and them, and they were like, we're looking at the bikes. I was like, no, I don't want a bike. I want that. And I pointed at the PC when I was like 10 years old. And it was a black PC, and it was a really expensive one. And I think it cost like $2,000, which is a lot of money for a PC, by the way, back then when I was 10. So they were like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, I want that PC. And I pointed at it. And it was a nice one. And I didn't know, like, you know, anything about RAM or CPU performance or anything. I just knew that it was a nice looking PC, yeah? But apparently it was the most expensive PC in the store. And my parents said yes. Because I was being so nice, I was being so good, and you know. And I really wanted it, and I was just, my eyes were like, whoa. And they just got it for me for my birthday. It was right near Christmas. Is it for my birthday? Yeah. And I mean, I just wanted to say that. GameStop is horrible. This guy, 11 Restoration, that's pretty cool. Broke mindset. Why people will never be rich. I think, like, you see it all over the internet, all over YouTube. I think the rich, it all depends on what you see rich as. You know? Because if you say, hey, is that person rich or do you think you're rich? It all depends. They have to justify what they really think rich is. So for me, what is rich? Someone that's got everything and wealthy and whatever might be different levels than someone else. Zero debt as well. They're just a level above rich. Yeah? Because you have to go through broke. You have to go through struggling. You have to go to being normal to blend in with society, middle class. Then you become eventually richer, too rich. And then when you have reached the level of rich, then you'll get to the wealthy level where you are just copying whatever you've done to get yourself rich, but multiplying it by 100, 1,000%. So now you just own a lot and you have a lot of, like I said, investments. Anything. You are literally just having money make money. I would think that is a wealthy person. You know? Or you have a company, build a company for you without you even being there. I.e. like you're like an investor. You just invest money into something and it grows and grows and grows. And the man at the level that I want to be at one day. To be on vacation and do a 20-minute meeting and then be done. And then I go back to my little vacation. And my vacation could last weeks, it could last months. You know? That's pretty cool. And there'll be one day when I live stream on a beach and everyone's going to go, you know what? He fucking called it too. He's not in his little house anymore, in his little office. He's out there. Do understand what it's saying? What does it mean by social media is making us... It's not like if I'm present with this person at all. I'll help people, I'll support people. But I will look at times. Because that's how I am. I'm very technical.
Or disease, but through our own voluntary surrender of what makes us human. Imagine willingly trading your capacity for deep thought, genuine connection, and individual consciousness for the smile on our faces.
There you go. I've seen this already, and you didn't have comment section turned on, so you couldn't even comment. Which is an amateur mistake. You always want to have your comment section up, unless there's trolls coming in and people just being annoying, then you can turn the comment section off. But you don't even have an audience to have trolls yet, so why would you have a comment section off? Oh man. So this is Pepe. He's a moderator of mine, and he has his own channel now. 16 subscribers, 2 likes, and a share, which I can share out to my Facebook. Hold on. You know, it's true though. Like when you go to the movies and you start talking within when the movie's on, you always get like this grunt, like, or you get someone because they're paying to be in that building to watch a movie. Yeah, it's not like they're just watching it on a phone or a TV for free or near enough free. They're paying a lot of money to be there. If you haven't noticed, movie prices are expensive these days. You know, that's why you have to go on a Thursday or a Sunday morning. So you get like 10 to 20% discount. That's the best time. And they got barely anyone in there too. And you get discount. That's a double whammy. You know what I mean? Not too many people, which means there's not too many farts, which means there's not too many buttery popcorn smell, which stinks. I hate the fucking smell of buttery popcorn. And also, there's not, and you get discount. So you'll get discounted to be somewhere. But I always get seats beforehand because I always think it's going to be busy and packed. And it rarely ever is. Because most people are cheap. They don't want to spend money. So they'll just wait till it's on a hack website or something to watch the movie as a pirate copy that's less quality, but they want to get it for free. So that's why they do it. But what's happened these days is that the app that's called Look Movie, which is a big app that has all the TV shows and the movies and all that, well, guess what? That's been shut down. You can't even get access to it now, which sucks. So unless they've changed the links or the hyperlinks, which I don't know about, I'd have to look it up and figure it out. But I can't get access to it. And that saved me probably thousands of dollars from not having to buy apps or pay for subscriptions or whatever, you know? Film that There you go. Film that my theatre. From Pepe.
Whispering is talking. It bothers people. You're going to turn your pager off, right? And your cell phone.
How?
Feet on the floor. You'll be eating? Of course you'll be eating. Soda, popcorn, candy. Yummy.
Yeah, that's pretty nasty. So when I go to the movies, I would usually have like a plain popcorn if I do choose popcorn. And then if they have Impossible nuggets, which is like these plant nuggets, yeah, I'll eat those. And then a drink. I tried to stay away from the sodas because there's a lot of sugar. So I'd usually go with either water or tea. I like to keep my real teeth.
And what do you do with your trash? Put it in the trash container. That's good manners.
Reminded me of my late grandma. Oh yeah. My grandma didn't last long. She
Research showing that the company knew Instagram was harming teenage girls' mental health.
I don't go on Instagram much at all, if not any time, because I think that you might think this is kind of controversial, but Instagram, they have a lot of Photoshop, and so does YouTube thumbnails. But I'm saying Instagram have a crap ton of Photoshop, where it's like it's not even good Photoshop. Some of them, you know, you can clearly see it's been photorized, and it's like, But then AI is kind of cool, so. And Instagram have a lot of AI, and I do like AI stuff, AI generated stuff. I think it's really interesting and creative. And I use AI for my stuff sometimes because I'm like, you know what, it's worth a laugh. You know what I mean? To trick people. And people do believe it, and some people don't believe it. So it's just funny.
Yet continued optimizing for engagement anyway. But here's the deeper psychological truth that makes this even more disturbing. We're not just being manipulated, we're actively participating in our own mental rewiring.
Yeah, that's really crazy, isn't it? Like, your brain can get rewired. So what you consume, eventually down the line, whether you like it or not, it does become you. And that's why people are so resistant to certain things. Because they don't want to change, or they don't want their brains, the chemistry to switch and fire in different areas of their brain. That's why there's so much resistance. So people are like, I can't watch that, I can't do that. Me, I will scroll and watch literally everything, you know, when I'm not uploading content. I will look at random things.
A groundbreaking study published in iScience in 2021 used brain imaging to track people's smartphone usage and found something chilling. A higher proportion of social app interactions correlates with lower dopamine synthesis capacity in the...
It's all about dopamine hits. Social media is a dopamine addiction. You see the bright colors, you're going to click. You're going to tap it because of what you're wearing or what your colors of your hair is or whatever. Why do you think people go to all the extent of burning their hair blue or burning their hair orange or whatever color? Vibrant neon colors, yeah? Because it attracts people in. You know? The eagle in the sky doesn't go after the pigeons as much as they go after the parakeets. The parakeets are easier to spot. Fantastic Four. And it actually looked good. I was like, that looks alright. So, I don't know why people are giving it so much heat. Is there a reason why, Pepe? Why are people, like, shitting on it a lot? And I'm just like, okay, if it's one or two people, sure. Because you can't please everybody. But there's a lot of people. You know, and it's the big companies too, like the Reddit or the review companies, movie review companies. And it's just sad because I saw what I saw. The movie trailer looked damn good. So unless the movie itself was different and they changed things, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, so I couldn't give a fair assessment, a fair critique. It was better than the last one, and the last one was good, yeah. So the Silver Surfer was one of the best ones, I think. I think I'm probably going to go see it then. If it's better than the last one, and the last one was pretty decent, so if it's better than that, then I'm going to watch it. It's got that gargantuan guy, doesn't it? The guy with the big, what's he called? No, something like that. I don't know, he's all powerful in the universe, in the DC universe. He's never really been in the movies yet. It's like a first appearance. So I'm not really sure of his name. It's like Gargantua something. He's just a massive robot-looking thing with crazy power.
The bilateral podamen. In plain English, the more we use social media, the less capable our brains become of producing.
I'm talking about reboot film that had shit story. Oh, okay.
The very chemicals that make us feel motivated.
Typey, you can actually press the button and say, and it would say it, and I would click on it and it would just say it out loud. It's a new feature. I'm not sure if you have it activated, if you can see it. Let's take a look. I think it's for live streams, yeah. I don't think it's for it's not for videos. It's for live streaming. But I'm not sure if it's 100% like across the board everyone's doing it. Or everyone has access to it. Yeah, I don't... See if there's an option for it. Because it would be really cool to test it out. No.
We're literally diminishing our own neurological capacity for experiencing genuine satisfaction. This isn't science fiction. This is happening right now, and a British intellectual saw it coming nearly a century ago.
This?
A British intellectual. It wasn't me then.
In 1931, Alden wasn't about jackbooted thugs breaking down doors. It was about people voluntarily surrendering their humanity for comfort and distraction.
I think a lot of people love comfort because there's no risk and there's dopamine rewards. So it's really hard to get unplugged from social media. I don't think a lot of people can do it. Only some people can do it. And those people that do it are usually the types of people that go off the grid. You know, they got like an RV or a tent in the middle of the woods somewhere and they've got no internet connection.
In 1931, when Brave New World was being written, I was convinced that there was still plenty of time, wrote Huxley. 27 years later, I feel a good deal less optimistic. The nightmare of total organization is now awaiting us just around the next corner. But Huxley wasn't alone in seeing this future. Modern thinkers have expanded on this vision in frightening ways. Harvard professor Shoshana Zuboff calls it surveillance capitalism, the unilateral claiming of private human experience as free raw material for translation into behavioral data.
Okay, that one got my brain a little bit crossed. I was like, I'm not sure what exactly that means. But I am trying to process that one.
Historians warn that we're entering an age of hacked minds, where
oh yeah, like this. So it keeps you hooked.
people crave their own chains. In his world, citizens were pacified not by violence.
Yeah, if you're violent and you're force, it attracts a lot of people. Yeah, it might wake some people up, but people like the comfort and the easy stuff. Like for example, when you go to school or work and you got a vending machine, do you reach for the savory hot dog, or do you reach for the candy bar that's loaded with sugar and sweetness? Most people go to the candy bars for some reason. It's worse for you, but because it's got so much sugar and your dopamine just goes through the roof when you eat one, there's just addicted to chocolate and sugary chocolate. It's not the chocolate itself. Chocolate's fine. But when they combine it with all the sugars and all the flavorings and the artificial flavorings and whatever else they put into the chocolate bar, that's when it becomes a problem. You know?
But by endless entertainment, instant gratification, and a drug called soma that eliminated any discomfort or deep thinking. Sound familiar? We don't have soma, but we have something arguably more powerful. Curated TikTok feeds and Instagram reels that have systematically destroyed attention spans.
I feel really bad. I don't have to invest time in my live streams or my videos. You just see my short content, which is a trailer of me. Or a trailer of my content, yeah? So that's why I do it. I don't just do it for myself. I do it for you. I don't want to waste my time or your time. You know? And Shorts has been paying me decent. So don't feel like, oh yeah, I feel sorry for Mike, he's not getting fuck all. I really am. I'm getting paid to do short content. Probably more than I do live streams and videos. I don't understand it. It's the ads or something, or I don't know where the money's coming from exactly, but the short content, my paycheck has gone up. That's all I know. I'm not a financial expert. You know, I'm not. There's been 5 Fantastic Four movies. Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer. Yeah, that's a great one. And Fantastic Four, the 2015. Yes, it got like a remake, yeah. And then there was 2025, First Steps. The Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Deadpool and Wolverine. Thunderbolts was really good. That's the last Marvel. Well, was it DC or Marvel? It's Marvel, isn't it? Yeah, Marvel is Thunderbolts. So, but the Thunderbolt Marvel movie was really good. Then you got Doomsday and Avengers: Secret Wars on next. Nice. Yeah, that's cool, man.
Recent research shows that our ability to concentrate has dropped from 2.5 minutes to 47 seconds in just 2 decades.
Well, back in the day, people used to have 20-minute attention spans. But now they're saying it's like 2 minutes to a minute. That's crazy. So you can. That's why you have to talk really quickly. You have to do different angles and different camera angles, and it's all because of you lot that.
A generation that once feared war now fears pregnancy.
They're all Marvel. Why do I think Fantastic Four is DC? It just feels like DC. It doesn't feel like Marvel. I guess it's the way they filmed it or something, or the cast they have. I'm not sure.
More than
it's Fantastic Four. It's just the way that it's like filmed, the way that the characters are, the way, you know, because DC is a little bit more toned down, isn't it? Usually, and Marvel's a little bit more crazy, like out with solarized. That's what's fascinating about it all. The DC and the Marvel universe is like, will it ever clash one day? Will it ever come together? Like Superman versus, I don't know, Superman versus. I've watched so much X-Men content, movies, shows, you name it. That is main thing is my head. When I think Marvel, I think X-Men. You know. Or Spider-Man. Like, Spider-Man is a massive Marvel character as well. What if they had like Spider-Man versus who's a really crazy DC character? Poison Ivy or something. Spider-Man versus Poison Ivy. Come out of her hands or her hands. Vines. Poison Ivy vines. It'd be crazy. I'd be like, what the hell am I watching? It's never been done before. I've never seen that at all. It's so unique, man. I'm telling you, all the solutions you need to life, whether it's you're making a movie, you're making a TV show, you're writing a book, everything is online. All the answers you need, all the ideas are online. Okay? You just need to follow the right people and take notes, and you'll come up with shit. Yeah, Poison Ivy with spider webs, but Poison Ivy. Why has that not been done? That's pretty cool. It's because of copyright, maybe. Marvel films been better than most DC stuff. Yeah, I agree. 100%. I watched some DC stuff, but I really love the Marvel stuff, man. It really is a lot better. I think the storylines are better. I think the character selections, they're more creative. I can really engage with a Marvel movie. I watch a DC, I'm like, oh, I can watch some of it, like half of it. You know, it's hard to get all the way through the movie. Because some of the scenes are so, like, they're not technically fake. They're just really badly orchestrated, where you just don't believe it. You're like, okay, it could be done a lot better. You know what I mean? You don't feel like you're there. You don't feel like that's real enough. Like, that would really happen. Marvel, you do. You kind of do believe that could happen. Or it's very real, raw and real. With DC, it's more... The characters they choose for... No one can. I don't... Okay, maybe... what's his face? The freaking killer from Psycho, yeah? Maybe him. Didn't say he was Batman. You could... It was really hard to believe that he was. You know? Look at Patterson. The guy from fucking Twilight trying to be a Batman. Fuck off. Don't even go there. I thought there was a joke at first. I went onto social media and I thought, is this a meme? Is this funny? Is this someone praying a plank? Someone's pulling a joke, yeah? Laughy, laughy, ha ha ha. It wasn't though. It was actually real. He was a absolute joke. I could barely get into it. I watched like 20 minutes of it. And I said, okay, the Batmobile is cool. The technology's cool. You know, the Batsuit looks cool. But it's on the wrong character. It's the wrong actor. And that movie didn't do too well. Because of the actor. The lead role was the wrong character. It was the wrong actor. You know? You've got serious people. Who you've got? You've got... I'm forgetting names, but... Ben Stiller. Not Ben Stiller, the other guy. Ben Affleck, yeah? Ben Affleck was Batman. I mean, look at today. You've got the guy from Zodiac, whatever it's called, the Netflix show, the Ben Bateman, on a TV commercial acting as Batman called Ventman or something. And it was Patterson before that. That's a sign for you right there that Batman is a joke. Batman used to be serious. People took Batman very seriously. Like, he was the hero of that town, of Gotham City, yeah? He was the hero. He protected everybody. He was not to be messed with. Nowadays, people will laugh at Batman. Who's going to be the next Batman? Why are people not talking about that? They're not. Because no one gives a fuck anymore. They're like, Batman's done with. It's a laugh. It sucks. I love those movies, man. Batman Forever, Batman Returns. I forget the names of them, but Batman Forever, yeah, Batman and Robin. Then you got into like just the Batmans came out with the Dark Knights and the other Knights, and it's just like the transition of Batman has been pretty rough. As an audience member, as someone that watches Batmans, it's been really hard to watch them over the years, man. It's like, my God, what have they done to Batman? Like, they've really messed him up. I laugh about it, but it's not funny. You know, they've destroyed Batman. It's really bad. I'm laughing because it's so diabolically wrong. It's really bad. Pepe's going to defend it because he loves all the Batmans, but there's certain Batmans that don't fit as a Batman. It just doesn't. Yeah, the special effects might be next level, but the character himself, I can't believe that person's Batman. He looks more like a yoga instructor or something, not Batman. That's what I'm saying. Oh, Batman. Hey, I'm Batman. No, you're not. You're just a wannabe. You're a wannabe Batman. You're not really Batman. You don't believe you are. You know? And we don't believe you are.
Because their attention is so fractured, they can't process complex, long-term threats. The psychological mechanism Huxley intuited has now been confirmed by neuroscience. These apps can cause the release of large amounts of dopamine into our brain's reward pathway.
100%. It happens every single millisecond of the day. Monday to Sunday, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen.
All at once, just like heroin or meth or alcohol.
And you'll be very successful. The problem that I haven't got a fucking clue how to do it. You know, I've been watching video after video after video to learn how to do it. Live streams rarely happens unless I'm giving like $1 million away. Or if it's a short content, that does alright. So that's why I like shorts. I watch shorts, I produce shorts, and I think short content should go nowhere. Because everyone does have short attention spans, myself included. And it needs to go nowhere. It needs to be, we need more short content. All of that. But I need to know the information sooner enough. The person took to go onto the Mars, to go onto Jupiter, to go onto the moon. No one cared about how many steps the person took. They cared that they were actually there first. That's it. They were there. They put the flag down first. That's it. Boom. First person to do this. First person to do that. So if you're always first, people don't give a shit if you fuck up or if you're great. You're just first. Yeah? You don't really care how you do it. It's weird. We've got Pepper, Batman Bond of DC Comics. Yeah. So that's another thing I wanted to talk about was the Bond franchise. What the heck has happened to James Bond? There was a Roger Moore right? Is that his name? And there was a guy before him called Sean Connery, yeah? I didn't even know those Bonds existed. Because I started Bond when it was like Pierce Brosnan blowing up a building with a tank. And then I had to do... Later on, I watched the old Bonds and said, oh crap, there's like 50 movies before this that I need to catch up to understand the Bond history. The James Bond franchise. I need to understand it. That's how I'm like. I can't just watch one movie. I've got to watch the history to it. Because I was like, how did this person even become Bond? You know? So then I learned about Jaws, the guy with the metal teeth. Or the guy that threw hats. Yeah? Or all the little weapon systems and all the little cars he used to drive. The Aston Martin sports cars, the British sports cars. Which are fascinating, by the way. And I think there might have been a Lotus Esprit. That was a submarine in one of the movies. Like, James Bond is next level. You can't deny it. James Bond is absolutely crazy. And a new movie is coming out he's going to have that guy in. What's his name? He's kind of buffed up. Daniel Craig. He's going to be in a new movie, yeah? And apparently it's going to be something we've never seen before, like the stunts. And he's going to be doing half the stunts himself. So, who knows if he dies halfway through it. Like, actually dies on set. Because the stunts are so nuts. And everything else is CGI or stunt actors, whatever. Yeah? Fill-ins. Did you watch Jaws' 50th anniversary? I did. Yes, I did. You're talking about the documentary, yeah? How they made Jaws? Or are you talking about the actual movie? That's the 50th anniversary that's got remastered and better quality sound and picture or whatever. I watched the documentary of the 50th anniversary of Jaws because I've watched all the Jaws movies. That looks... See things, but you saw certain things. See things, but you saw certain things. It just threw you off. You know, and if you did see the shark, it was a massive silhouette and it was massive. And you thought to yourself, okay, that's a man-eater or that's a woman-eater. It's going to eat something that's a human. Scary, man. Batman, both. What did they do that's different? Did they take things out? Did they add things in? Did they give it a different ending? Did they give it a different beginning? Did they remaster it in like 8K, high definition HDR, crisp image? Did they make the surround sound like... What did they exactly do to Jaws' 50th anniversary to make it so much different than it was? It's very hard to improve the original, you know, because the whole point of the original was that it looked like it was filmed on a camera. Someone was out there on a boat with a camera, like you were there with them. It felt like the movie. What's that movie when they're in the woods? The Blair Witch Project, and you feel like you're there with the campers, yeah, with the victims. You feel like you're there with them. And you can smell their sweat because you feel like you're in the shit with them. So it feels so real, and you can't escape it. Those movies scare the piss out of me. You know what I mean? Because it feels like you're actually there. Pepe, one I watched was remaster copy 4K. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, had HDR. Nice. Yeah, I would like to watch that. Yeah, I mean it will definitely improve the picture quality. I just feel like if you want to be in the ocean, you want to be in the boat with the victims, you want to keep the picture somewhat slightly distorted, you know, like original. Like someone's filming it and you're like, whoa, someone's live streaming a YouTube video with really bad signal, buffering, whatever.
Crave digital validation the same way addicts crave their next fix.
Social media addiction is definitely real. My mother has it, I have it, Michelle has it. My brother and my dad, I don't think they have it 100%. They somewhat have it.
But wait, before we dive deeper into this digital rabbit hole, ask yourself this. When
Pepe has it, he's an addict. He's a social media addict. He's online all the time, every year, every month, every second of the day. Scrolling, upload one video, then do a million scrolls, upload one video.
did you last finish reading something that took longer than 5 minutes without checking your phone? If you can't...
Okay, let's try it right now. Let's put it to the test. Live on stream, I'll put it to the test. Let's read something. Let's read Batman comic. Right? I will read a Batman comic. And I'll see readable. Mess it up. Comic, read, Abel. I've taken Mavis speaking. I know how to type. Back off. There you go. I'll just read it. Alright. Ah, sugar. Yeah, I think you have to pay for it. Nope. Okay, so here, Batman comic. You work for the bold man. More of his bat monsters sent here to kill us. We don't work for him. But if you keep pointing that gun in my face, I will kill you. Don't listen to Wingman. Our team has a strict no-killing policy. See, I ain't touching my phone. And it's been like 20 seconds. I couldn't do 5 minutes of reading this crap, no. I have to have it, like, animated now. It has to be, I've watched a comic. I can't read a comic book anymore. I don't read anymore. Bought this for a pretty penny. Don't ask me what edition it is. Don't ask me what... It's got red face. I've got this again. Obviously another Spider-Man comic. The Amazing Spider-Man. See the artwork? It's beautiful. And this is number 364. Next. This is really good. It's got Venom. The Amazing Spider-Man again. Look at the artwork on this one. Pretty tasty. This one's pretty. Another one. The Amazing Spider-Man. It looks like Silver Surfer or something. Is it him? No, it's not. It's like some robot. He's fighting a robot. And that's his 368 edition. Next, we have Lizard, yeah? What's it called? Scorpion. Spider-Man versus Scorpion. So if you recognize any of these, that's rare. Let me do it. Then you got this one. Invasion of the Spider Slayers, part 4 of 6. It's a pretty cool comic. And this is number 371. Alright, there is more. This one is Invasion of the Spider Slayers, part 5 of 6. It's a bunch of arachnids. Yeah, I like the cover art. It's pretty cool. Alright, next. Last one. This is called The Amazing Spider-Man, Invasion of the Spider Slayers, Conclusion. And this is more rare, I think. This one looks pretty cool. And this is number 373. So yeah, I've got comic collections, man. I like the comic books. I just like the artwork, you know. And I'll read them occasionally, but I don't really... I'm more just like the animated. If it's online, yeah, and it's talking to you and all that jazz, I'd rather just do that. I'm kind of lazy with it.
Remember, you're experiencing exactly what Huxley predicted. Here's where Huxley's vision becomes genuinely terrifying when viewed through modern psychology.
We've got Omnivore of High. What's up, man? And then we've got Pepe. I had the whole storyline. What, of Scorpion? I mean, sorry, Spider-Man.
In Brave New World, there is no depth of feeling, no ferment of ideas, and no artistic creativity.
You know what I really feel like playing is Destiny or Destiny 2. It's such a good storyline to the game.
Individuality is suppressed. Intellectual excitement and discovery have been abolished. Consider this.
No, not multiplayer. I would like to just play the campaign.
When was the last...
Went out of business. That's actually a good thing. It makes it more rare then. The less places that sell them, the more rare the items become. Supply and demand. There's a comic book place down by me, yeah, downtown from me. And this person's got hundreds of thousands of comics in massive, like, boxes, yeah? I should just buy, like, a box and be like, yeah, I can just buy a box. And just, you know, buy some rare comics. Whatever. Because if you've got 100,000 comics or more, I highly doubt every single one of them is on eBay. You know, he's probably got some really rare crap in there that he hasn't got online. Or she's got online and they just want to get rid of it. And I would say, hey, I'll just take it off your hands. Because I'm a collector. And I collect, so. And I can go through them one by one and just figure out if they're worth anything, yeah? And then I could just sell one for like $1,000. We'll look at it right now. Comic rare comic books. We'll look at it right now. It's a lot of money. I mean, I know it's a very rare comic, but my goodness. $250,000 from CCG for one of my graded cards. Let me see it. No, just one of them. See, I got a blue label right there. Blue label. It's only a 9 out of 10. This card would be so much more valuable if it was a 10 out of 10, man. It's just really hard to pull a perfect condition card that's got perfect centering. Super lowball. How can you look someone in the eye and say, I'll give you 100 grand? That's nowhere near what it's worth.
Sold it for 150. So unfortunately, it's just a little too rich for my blood.
Bro, just at least offer him. You know, he's probably going to be sitting on it for like many, many years. He might even have to give it down to his family members. You know, when he's in his old like retirement home. Because at that price, yeah, good luck. Jesus. Not a lot of people even have $250,000 or can even finance $250,000 for a comic book. My goodness. Oh, look at this. The history of Gone in 60 Seconds. That's pretty cool. I've always wondered where like Eleanor came from. And
in 1974, a junkyard owner made a car chase film with one Mustang, one stunt driver, and a 40-minute demolition derby that became legend. 26 years later, Jerry Bruckheimer tried to do it again, only bigger, with 3...
It was such a great movie, man, wasn't it? Gone in 60 Seconds, how can you replicate that? And make it...
Tore it apart. The studio said it lost millions, and behind the scenes, there were rewrites, accidents, and legal battles over the film's most famous car. So...
how could it lose millions? Like, so many people watched it.
How did a summer blockbuster with everything going for it turn into one of Hollywood's most bizarre financial mysteries? Let's find out. This is the story of Gone in 60 Seconds.
Suspect has increased speed to 120. Maintain visual, Air 1. 140 miles an hour. Do not lose it.
The road to Gone in 60 Seconds began with a childhood obsession. Michael Linton, then president of Hollywood, original filmmaker with a proposal to bring it back. In 1989, he was killed while filming a sequel, crushed by a falling telephone pole during a stunt gone wrong. Linton's pitch landed. A year later, in 1995, Haliki licensed the remake rights.
Damn, that car is sweet. It's just well designed.
It's to Disney. She came aboard as executive producer, and the project was handed to Jerry Bruckheimer, who by that point was already known for reshaping action. Stone Pictures label gave it a green light. To handle the script, they brought in Scott Rosenberg, a screenwriter known for Con Air. He began a series of rewrites to Rosenberg eventually left the production. His work was retooled by two uncredited writers, Jonathan Hensley and a then-rising J.J. Abrams, who stepped in quietly to salvage the script before cameras rolled. Their names didn't make the credits, but their revisions helped shape the finished film. By 1999, the project had a new trajectory. The studio opted for a PG-13 rating, trimming language and violence to match. Santa had a background in music videos and had directed the crime thriller California. His visual style, saturated colors, sharp contrast, fluid camera movement, was a natural fit for the kind of kinetic engine revving story they were planning. Retired car
short content coming out. I'll see you later, people.